am Gresham's Adam, and I wish to apologize for this video. Apparently, while I was recording, the microphone did not pick up. I am unsure why, but apparently it didn't, so forgive me for this. And I do hope you enjoy the video for its content anyways. In the meantime, I do hope you enjoy part 2 of Call of Cthulhu. And I thank you for watching.
Oh, I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm gonna have to deal with her.
Well, look, did you miss us?
I have an offer that could interest you.
We're listening.
I need you to keep them busy for a while.
You send us to take the punishment while you go quietly about your business. What's in it for us?
What would convince you to help me?
There's only one thing that'll get us to move.
For sure. Bring us something to drink and we'll take care of the bootleggers.
I'll be back.
Take your time. We're going nowhere.
Cops, they can't understand. Damn stupid idiots.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
You again.
Let's say I want to buy a bottle from you.
Let's say I don't want to sell you one.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. And they saved Darkwater from famine.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the and
You don't dare say a thing because you respect their memory. But that doesn't mean that you don't have a lot on your mind.
you're not a PI for nothing. Okay. I don't know what it's worth, though. But Mrs. Hawkins, she went to see her doctor very often.
She was sick.
I shouldn't have mentioned it to you. Forget it.
Her vision.
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a anything else?
That'll be all for now. Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
Can you tell me where the warehouse is again?
Look, I've already shown it to you. It's the one with the cop on guard duty out front. You can't miss it.
Understood. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
do excuse me, because I'd prefer not to be seen talking with you for too long.
If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us, and they'll be here long after we are gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Think it over. I've seen what you're capable of. And you didn't miss me.
I accept the compliment. Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me, and I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand, you're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
It's fine. He's with me.
Oh, okay.
Be a gentleman and move that for me. That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? The glass is shattered, like someone smashed it. Was it before or after the removal of these bandages? Someone treasures this crumpled picture to the point of sleeping with it. Can't sleep. I know how that feels.
Someone has settled in here. And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I don't believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. Poor kid. The caretaker takes great care of these graves. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this? I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What now?
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins didn't eat. Was it because of the meat, or something else? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Sarah Hawkins and little Simon. The perfect picture of the middle-class family.
But it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? They had a fight. Why? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did someone escape the fire? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
Much of this evidence simply contradicts the investigation's findings.
Really? Tell me about it.
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
Dr. Fuller?
A brilliant surgeon, and a friend of the family. I'm sure he took the matter to heart. So, excuse me if I value his opinion over yours.
So be it. Let's move on. I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So, well...
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. This door is blocked from the outside. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. There's something disturbing about this painting. There's something disturbing about this painting. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time. What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated, resorting to such a treatment. Perfect. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. Bradley? Is that you? What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
Is anyone there?
Stop!
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier. Where did he go? It Looks like an old seaway map. They look like Celtic runes.
So you really think that your
Charles
fugitive
must have
came
brought
in
them
here?
back from one of his foreign
I don't
trips.
see any way out.
Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. I'd be better off not touching them for the moment. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Seems like this came from a log. There must be a link with the Seaway map. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log.